there on Drudge's front page. Perfect.
And then just in case we need a little more something.
Probably not. We could.
You're right, probably not.
We could talk about fucking birds' eggs. A half-hour show. Either one of ornithologist.
Ornithologist.
That's what I get. I had.
Good morning. This time with shirts on.
Oh my god. So you don't even have to have a shirt. You can do the sticks thing like I've appropriated. I swear I'm gonna start wearing my glasses during our cast just so I can be like, all right, everyone, today we're gonna start out with talking about Joe Biden and the battle of the soul for the nation. It's really funny, dude. You should eat beans more often and grow your own food.
Clink.
Clank.
Clank. Correct.
And if you happen to catch it, Sticks, yeah, I'm making fun of you, but we love you, brother. So, anyhow, how you doing this morning?
Not too shabby. Danny asks, is Twitch only for bots? No, it's also for gamers and hot tub girls.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. That is...
My dad was actually telling me yesterday that he prefers the, I think he was basically saying that the UI on Twitch is more friendly than YouTube. And I'll be honest, like, we're on Twitch. I never mess with Twitch.
No,
I don't even know how many subscribers we have.
I mean, I keep thinking that I'm gonna do something with Twitch, like doing, like, for example, everything has reset because it's September. So the various card games that we play that are online, they reset on the 1st of every month, and you could just Twitch stream, be like, okay, brand new month, let's see if I can hit top rank.
Right.
And there are people that watch that. I still don't entirely understand it.
There are a shitload of people that watch that.
Yes.
Like, doing gaming content is one of the apparently one of the easiest ways to make money. Doing video content.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to sit down and play the same game.
Danny says, good morning from the Northland. It's a lovely 57 degrees this morning. Oh, I would cut a bitch for some 57 degrees this morning.
We're almost there.
I just turned off the low fan, and I'm already starting to get sticky up.
You know,
I could feel the humidity creeping into the basement.
We've got fall coming, which means we've got college football coming, and I shit you not, they installed TVs with cable packages at work at the beginning of summer. Every single person had the same reaction and was like, hey, man, this is going to be great. We're like the baseball playoffs and college football. And yeah, yesterday something went wrong with the pilot program, so they came and took the TV down. Like, even the district supervisor was like, and I said it right in front of him. It's like, this is bullshit. College football starts this Saturday. At least the real teams kick off this Saturday. And he was like, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm going to email somebody tomorrow to see if we can get that fixed. And it's good.
Yeah, and you need to get it fixed, like, today. So, let's say good morning to some people and then talk about the,
speaking of things that need to get fixed.
Trisha has first blood this morning. Good morning, Trisha. And
Danny.
There's Danny. I see Poncho. Good morning. Good morning. Sean Stryker's with us. Scrimshaw Rose. Scrimshaw is good enough to say good morning to everybody else while we were running our mouths.
Yes. Steve's back in town. Where is he? Are we about to?
Yeah, are we
going to make fun of him?
I don't see a roadie yet. In fact, I don't. We are Steveless. We appear to have no Steves.
He's his own boss, and now he can't. Now he can't show up for the stream. Let's see. There's Matt
Parks, my favorite Ninja Turtle. Good morning, my man. Good morning.
And then, of course, again, good morning to the lovely Daniel Munoz from the TPS report. Always happy.
I don't know what the hell that was.
It was weird, is what that was.
Stuttered. The chat stuttered.
That was.
It's like Joe Biden is my new chatbot.
And we always pay extra special attention to Danny because, dude, she was like one of our first 50 subs and has just been with us the entire time. So we love Danny. Okay.
So Joe's gonna try to talk again tonight.
Look, let's just go straight to this headline because this headline is just
kiss. I mean, Biden to speak about the continued battle for the soul of the nation.
That's one way to put it.
We need to put that concept in context. This is Joseph Robinette Biden, a career politician of half a century, whose corruption is so well documented that he has bragged about his own corruption in front of audiences and on tape. The man is there is no question
in his prime
that the man is a criminal, and he is excruciatingly proud of his criminality.
He doesn't even view it as criminality. He just thinks he's Joe Biden, man. Come on, man.
Just do whatever the hell he wants, right?
It's the thing. That's he's smart and he's better than all of us. And man, come on, Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And that's one of the things that's just most galling about Democrats generally is they honestly believe that they're really, really, really smart.
Well, before the show, we were talking about the cave. And yes, Chris and I are such big, giant nerds. We frame our personal conversations in terms of, are you in the cave on this or not? Okay? And it's an important question to ask yourself, okay? Like, you want to really break your brain a second time, study Plato's allegory of the cave, watch The Matrix again, and realize how much of that shit is a one-for-one lift right out of the whole allegory. But Democrats seem to really believe, and this is a thing that people like Scott Adams and Eric Erickson, even Lindsey Graham have touched on, though I think he kind of backed into the point by mistake. It's not just that they think that they're smart, they think they're morally correct. They think they are on the right side of history. They've been so swept up by all that flowery rhetoric bullshit. Right. I'm going to save the planet by calling Republicans racist and driving my car less, or some such nonsense. That's
You keep talking, I'll fix the picture.
Or some such nonsense that's boy, that's an unflattering picture to be frozen on.
It is.
Yikes on all the bikes.
We've had worse.
Yeah, like I'm wearing clothes. Anyhow, but they think they're going to save the planet or some such nonsense because Republicans are racist and orange Cheeto Hitler bad and man, maybe we really should drive my car less, and you should totally. It's good for everybody to transfer the debt and the student loan and blah 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 blah. And you're a bigot, and you're anti-fun, and you are anti-love. And speaking of love is love, if you don't agree with me, you fucking bigot. And because of that, it's not just that they think they're smart, not just that they think they're on the right side of history. Here's where it gets really scary, okay? James Hodgkins, the name of the guy that shot up the Republican baseball game. Bernie Sanders supporter.
Right.
Okay? And look, I am not saying that all Bernie Sanders supporters are murderers, and I'm not saying Bernie Sanders is a murderer.
Right.
But I am saying that
most Bernie Sanders supporters and staffers are not murderers. Most of them are pro-gulag. They would rather you suffer and starve and tote blocks of salt across the large campgrounds only to tote them back. They're far worse than murderers. But this Hodgkins guy was just a murderer.
Well, attempted murderer, because like many lefties, he sucks at everything. But the thing is, it's easy for us to look back and go, oh, James Hodgkins, man, that guy was psychotic. However, what if you really believed that these evil Republicans are going to poison the air and the water and hoard all the resources for themselves and put women in bondage and like, oh my God, it's just oh no, what are we going to do? It's the Handmaid's Tale. You reach a certain point where it's not only justified to commit violence, there's no other choice because you're fighting back against epic levels of subjugation. Like, there's not many stories where the slave killing the slave master is the bad guy. Because it's the slave.
Right.
Killing the slave master.
Correct.
Anyhow, I say all that to say, God, just can we go back to the headline one more time? Because, like, oh my God, this is the kind of thing that can lead to violence.
Well, and like I was saying before you got down that rabbit hole, this is Joseph Robinette Biden, who was vice president to Barack Obama, whose campaign platform was the radical change of everything that is America. So when these people say battle for the soul of the nation, what they mean is that they don't want the nation to continue to be what it is. They want to transform it radically into something else. And that something else, by the way, is communist China. As Cam and I were talking about the question of whether or not we're in the cave this morning, I shared an anecdote, and I'm going to share it here. It was one of the war stories. Incidentally, it happened in Afghanistan, but I was at Kandahar off the boardwalk, and there was a USO show going on, and this was some smaller, no-name comedian that I'd never heard of, but he gets up on the stage, and in theory, he was telling jokes, but he did this he did this bit where he pointed out that Republicans are against abortion, but they're all a bunch of hypocrites because they're pro-death penalty. And this was one of those moments, where, like Cameron said, every now and then you ask yourself, okay, am I the one in the cave? Am I the one that has a skewed worldview and doesn't correctly understand the nuance? Am I confused about the issue? And when I heard that comedian make that point, you're a bunch of hypocrites because you're pro-abortion, or because you're against abortion, but you're pro-death penalty. I thought to myself, okay, no, you've just divided the world into two categories: people who think it is good to kill murderers
that have been convicted in a court of law.
Right.
Adults who've been convicted in a court.
But it is good for murderers to be convicted and executed. But it is bad to kill babies. So you on one hand, you've got those people. And then on the other hand, you've got the people who think it's bad to kill murderers, but it's morally preferable to kill babies when they're inconvenient. No, I'm not the one who's wrong here.
Well, when you put it like that, I know which side I choose. And also, there are plenty of people on the right, such as myself, that over time have become extremely uncomfortable with the concept of the death penalty because, damn it, because you have to give the government the power and authority to execute its own citizens, and the government has a tendency to suck at things. So maybe giving the government the power of the death, like, if you want to say Republicans are hypocritical, you can actually, this is just more stuff the left doesn't understand. It's actually possible to argue with people on the right and make points and even point out that they're hypocritical in places and use their own logic against them. But framing it in the terms of, this is, hi.
Just keep your hands still.
I'm trying. I want to drink my coffee.
I'm trying to disable the tracking, but you keep putting your hands up and making the gestures that the tracking.
Yes, so triggered. Anyhow, it is possible to make those points, but look, okay. But now we've got Biden. Okay, and there's a lot of questions we could ask. Like, first question is, what dosage of, like, meth and steroids are they going to have him on so that, like, at this point, they got to have that shit down to a science where we're like, okay, if we inject him with exactly 38 cc's, 17 minutes before he's supposed to start his speech, we can get about 27 minutes out of him before he starts with all the Habernershars and you know, America, it's the thing.
You
So,
just keep talking.
That's the first question.
That one. Okay. Good.
Okay, good. So that's the first question. Like, because at this point, even people in mainstream media are starting to make the joke, like, okay, did they give Joe Biden his Adderall? Is he going to be able to make it through his speech?
Damn.
You were so busy fucking with all that, you just...
Yeah.
I gave you all this to go through, and you...
So President Joe Biden will travel to Philadelphia on Thursday for a premium speech on potholes. I mean, in the continued battle of the soul of the nation.
But you repeat yourself.
In front of Independence Hall, the White House said Monday. I intentionally took an article from CNN on this because we know what Joe's going to talk about. We know.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to come out and tell you that the economy's doing great, that he's created millions of jobs. It's a lie. He's going to tell you that unemployment is low, which is a lie. It's the same lie that Obama told. Unemployment's low because people stopped looking for jobs. That's...
I know. That's more of that cave stuff. That's the kind of thing, that's the sort of gaslighting that just makes you doubt your reality.
That you pay a person to be a useless piece of shit doesn't change that person is a useless piece of shit. If you pay somebody who is capable of work to not work, that doesn't make that unemployed person not unemployed.
Well, that's more of that language changing type stuff. It's the same line of thinking that led them to change the definition of the word recession. Well, you're only unemployed if you're actively seeking work. If you're not actively seeking work, well, then we're not going to count you as part of the unemployed. Like, hey, look, I know for the past 100 years, a recession has been 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. However, this time is different because we've already changed the definition of unemployment. Since we changed the definition of unemployment, we've got really low unemployment. And you can't be in a recession if you have really low unemployment. You can't possibly be in a recession or depression. Ignore that whole Weimar Republic thing where basically everybody did have a job. It was cheaper to burn your money than to buy firewood.
Yeah, you definitely haven't spent $100 to fill up your gas tank this year.
I mean, so that's the first thing. You are correct. It's that whole same line of thinking where, look, we already changed the definition of the word unemployment. Now all we got to do is change the definition of the word recession. And if you guys are really good, I'm altering the deal. Pray I alter it no further. We could start changing the definition of the word freedom. You know? Anyhow. Okay, I have a prediction of a thing that he's going to talk about. And he is going to discuss... Oh, yeah, actually, there we go. Yeah. He's going to talk about the FBI raid, because, you know, he would never, ever, ever do the exact thing that he accused the evil orange man of. Oh, so, this is the headline on Drudge.
We're going to have to talk about this image.
I was telling Chris, and maybe the chat can have a good theory. I can't quite articulate what it is, but there is just... Aside from the fact that some dumbass FBI agent threw a bunch of papers on the ground, took a fucking picture of them, and then leaked it to the press. That aside, but there's just something in this image that just like is just red flag on top of red flag on top of red flag. It doesn't pass the smell test, and I can't quite put my finger on why. Because what this image purports to be, that carpet is Mar-a-Lago. And those are all the top secret documents that the evil orange man had at his house. And it's just...
Those are some mighty thin folders. I mean, am I wrong? Those are some mighty thin folders. But
I mean, you tell me. You've seen a lot more top secret docs than I have.
I have. And here's the thing. Those cover sheets, nothing about the cover sheet itself is classified. In fact, that's the point to the cover sheet, is it covers the classified information. This is akin to, it's the same as if somebody had a photograph of like a dozen Altoids boxes and said, hey guys, look how much cocaine we found this person with.
Assuming each one of those Altoid boxes had cocaine in it.
Right. Except we don't get to see the inside of the Altoids boxes to see if there's anything in them. Now, I'll
it's kind of like the affidavit.
I'll grant that part of this image is that it would be deeply irresponsible for an agent to, I don't know, photograph a top secret document and then post it to Twitter.
Or just have it on his phone.
Except that's what happened here.
I know. That's everything about it.
Let's assume for a moment that this is a pile of deeply classified, secret and top secret, secure compartmentalized information. And an FBI agent, which we are not assuming, we know to be the case, photographed this pile of documents with correlating evidence to place the location of the documents and a timestamp data to designate the continuity of the location of the documents, and then to share that on a very, very public platform. That would be Twitter, because what happened here is the FBI agent tweeted the photo of the secret and top secret documents here. That information is secret, is part of the secret. What this agent has just done is said, here is the location of classified information publicly to the enemies. This is not all that different from the several times that Joe Biden pointed at the guy with the briefcase on the stage with him and said, that's the nuclear football right there. I mean, in fairness, it's somewhat different than the times that Barack Obama and Bill Clinton lost the biscuit.
I didn't know that Barack Obama did. I knew Clinton did.
Clinton lost it 3 times.
I don't think he misplaced it. Well,
at least one of those times. At least one of those times they found it with his dry cleaner.
I wonder why he needed to constantly have his clothes dry cleaned. He wasn't the one wearing the dresses. Anyhow, but this is definitely going to be a thing that Biden's going to address tonight. Like, totally. There is no way he doesn't give this whole speech and not say, now look, guys, listen. I would never weaponize the Department of Justice against likely front runner and okay, I'm gonna stop because I don't want to keep doing the Joe Biden stutter, but
you don't want to lean way into the
pay them. Yeah. Anyhow, so everything about it it looks staged. It looks terrible. Biden's going to talk about it tonight. Also, since we're making predictions, he's probably going to mention definitely some generalized orange man bad. Republicans are trying to take your rights away. Like, this is a battle for the soul of the nation. This is going to be one of those. I mean, what kind of a nation do we want to be? Do we want to be a nation of bigots that Handmaid's Tales its women, or do we want to be a nation of freedom and tolerance and drag shows for your children? And it's like, I don't see the dichotomy the way you do there, buddy, but okay. And you're going to get told that, let's see, we've covered the economy.
Yep.
We've covered the FBI raid. Republicans are bad. Orange man bad. Oh, I know the one we forgot. Putin bad.
Oh yeah, everything's Putin's fault.
Yeah, what are the odds that the teleprompter breaks and Joe Biden accidentally starts World War III by running his mouth?
Ooh.
Not zero. I'm not saying they're high, but it's definitely a non-zero chance.
That's yeah, the odds of being murdered by a cow with a butcher knife are never zero, or not high. And
Rebel Jack
Ritter points out. Basically, remember when Schumer held up the folder and said, "I have the links, I have the docs linking Trump to Russia right here," and never showed anything. It turned out that he was lying. And of course, this is the same Schumer that got up and entered an entirely fabricated, completely fake version of the transcript between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky into evidence in a House Judiciary or House? It may have been the House Intelligence. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry, Chuck.
Because it was Schiff in the skiff.
I'm sorry, Chuck. It was
Bullshiff in the bull skiff.
Yeah.
Yes. And he couldn't actually produce the documents for us because, of course, he had to leave all the classified material in the skiff.
Of course.
Because it was in the skiff. It's like, hey, that's convenient. We just have to totally take your word for it. Oh, it's sort of like, what's that? It's like a cult? That sounds like Scientology. No, we'll totally explain Dianetics to you once you reach level 9. So, Rebel Jack actually asked a question, and I don't know because I have zero real-world military experience. So he says, so the one was stapled and tucked under mid-right, the second page was blank white. Did they put blank pages or whiteout pages? And then your lovely friend, wife, whatever, Willow Bar says, boy, that almost went the wrong way bad.
No, it did.
Yeah. It almost went a lot worse, and I'm not even going to tell you how. And it says, they put blank pages on top. Here's what I want to know, okay? Because that's the first thing that stands out to me in this image. If they put all the blank pages on top, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Why fold that one over?
I don't know.
Because that's just weird in and of itself. It's like, look, let's just make sure you look and see.
I wish.
Oh!
Well, no, I'm trying to see if I can read the words on the folded document there. See right here in the corner here, but I can't quite. It's not, the image isn't high enough resolution to read that at a zoom in, and that may be. Yeah, so you can't read it. I can't tell what's on that particular page.
It does kind of come across like a movie prop, though, as Rob Ova says. That's
Yes.
that's definitely part of the problem of it. And let's not forget, just because it's got a cover letter on it doesn't mean it's not declassified.
Right. That's okay. So the point has been made that that the process that's required for the president to declassify documents is one that takes some time. He can't just decree that they're declassified. Nobody said that he just said, "Oh, well, I've decided these documents are declassified." What they've said, and is true, is that he had the authority to declassify anything, and that all of the boxes that the FBI took from Mar-a-Lago are boxes of documents which were ordered from the National Archives, delivered to the National Archives, then requested by the FBI, a request with which the Trump Organization complied, sent in the boxes of documents, and the boxes of documents were examined and scrutinized again and sent back, and then placed into a locked room at Mar-a-Lago, on which the FBI placed an additional lock of its own, which lock the FBI broke when they came back with their BS warrant.
Yeah, and let's not forget, okay, there's Secret Service detail at Mar-a-Lago, right?
Yep.
Trump probably has private security on top of that.
Yep.
So what were the odds that anybody was getting in that room, like, ever?
Now, here's the most damning thing. This fact alone, honestly, this fact alone should be sufficient to disband and incarcerate the entire FBI. They showed up with a warrant and then demanded that all the security cameras be.
And they took Trump's passports. I mean, was that on the warrant? No. Why'd you take it? Oh, and I've even heard people try and explain, well, you know, when you're in the middle of a situation like this and you got to make sure you take everything, like, you'll just look at the top 1 or 2 pages of something and go, oh, this looks like it was. Okay, fine. I accept your explanation. How does a passport look like classified material?
Correct. That's a great question. And then on the back to the camera thing, though, absolutely, without exception, anytime a police officer,
turn the camera off.
anytime a cop of any sort
Negative.
wants to turn off the camera, it's because he intends to commit crime.
Negative. No, buddy. No, you're the cop. If you charge me with a crime, the conviction rates in this country, even in like tiny county courts, are like 80%. All you have to do is charge me with the crime, bro, and I'm probably going to go down for it. Why do you want to turn the camera off? Why do you want to do that?
Yeah, never stop recording the cops.
Ever. Like, ever stop. And then just, and I don't care if anybody says it's a whataboutism, like, this is what's on the front page of Drudge. This is what the FBI is going to dedicate resources to in this way. But God forbid we actually talk about the contents of Hunter's laptop or Ashley Biden's diary. And I gotta tell you, man, I actually wanted for Ashley Biden's diary to be a bunch of like exaggerated bullshit, because God, there's some sick and twisted shit in there. Like, at least you can say Hunter is a crack addict who makes poor life decisions.
Yeah, but the content of Ashley Biden's diary
Appears
seems to suggest that Hunter Biden's crack addiction is probably the result of his upbringing.
Yeah, I think that is that's well done. That is a very nice way to put that, sir. Oh, actually, you know what? I was wrong. The FBI can totally dedicate resources to this kind of thing. They've got no problem sending somebody over by Facebook and saying, hey, you know, I'm not going to say what. I'm just going to say there's going to be like a really juicy story that comes out soon. And it's probably like totally Russian misinformation, and it might sway the election. So, I'm just saying that, like, if this really juicy story were to come along, it's probably Russian disinformation, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And so then, and Mark Zuckerberg said it, that they downrank you, and that doesn't seem like it's much of a thing. But when you look at algorithms over time, a small negative in the algorithm is a huge gap between what the algorithm is going to recommend to you and what it is not. So the whole shadow banning thing is real. Like, they could literally just give your account a -1 modifier somewhere, and it is the difference in reaching tens of thousands, if not millions of people. And FBI, excuse me, yeah, and then FBI. Oh, Facebook. Just need to find a way to throw the I in there.
Incorporated?
Here we go. So the FBI went to the FBI and said, yeah, downrank it. And yeah, that's what happened. But don't worry, guys. It's at the top of Drudge Report that we've got these, that we have these documents. And we're totally going to listen to the president not trip over his dementia-addled words and try and say that, well, he's not going to try. He is going to, in some capacity, say that Orange Man bad.
Well, I think that's all we've got for today.
And if you guys decide to tune into the TPS report this evening instead of listening to Joe Biden talk, God, we understand.
Yeah, no shit. In fact, what's probably going to happen, I'm probably going to tune into the TPS report instead of listening to the speech live and then catch the speech later.
I'm going to listen to the speech live. Not that I don't love Alex and Danny, because I do. I'm going to listen to the speech live because I'm now at the point of I don't even trust. Like, it was so hard to find a full uncut version of Lizzo's speech.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to listen to Biden's speech live because, oh, fuck you, you're not going to ghost edit me.
Right.
And that's not even...
Fair enough.
Man, you remember when that was like conspiracy theory level stuff, and now that's like
obvious.
Like that's Taco
obvious
Tuesday.
Thing is obvious.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, y'all be safe out there. Remember, tomorrow is Firearms Friday, and we will see you.
Hell yeah, it is.
Oh, and we're gonna have a special safety brief tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Surprising.
It's Dragon Con this weekend. We're gonna need to talk about that a little bit. All right, y'all be safe.